Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, have a topic. I've just been waiting and waiting to talk about this. I saw it a few weeks back and I'm like, I want to talk about this. This kind of gets me all riled up a little bit, but I have 16 sales headed out of here today as well. So we got to take a look at some of those before we get to this, I think, key topic. Let's take a look. It's a little cold in here, so I turned the fire on. Actually had to turn my heater down because I don't like the noise that it makes while we're doing this. Starter jacket. This one was at a sale that my dad found and said, you got to come on down. And so we did. Proline, size XL, made in Korea, true vintage. Awesome. It's got everything you want to see here. I posted this the other day on Instagram when I was posting it. It's got a hood as well. And it does have a floss somewhere. I can't remember what it was, but put it in the listing and I posted it, and a friend of ours is like, oh my gosh, I gotta have that for my husband. And so that's what we're doing. We're giving him the friends, it was $100. We're gonna give him the friends and family discount on it and sell it to them. And it's a pretty cool jacket. It would have sold fairly quickly, I think. Assuming the Cowboys win, it would definitely sell. But $100 for something like that is pretty darn cool. I think we're into it for 10 total, so nice little profit. By the way, if you're new to the show, we usually do 4 sales or so before we get to the topic, and that's what we're going to do today. And this is sale number 2 right here. This is a sweet shirt. It was the one I bought with that moonshine single stitch shirt. And if you don't know what that is, it means there's a single line of stitching going across a shirt. In this case, it's single stitch here and single stitch here, which if you look at my ducktail shirt here, it's got 2 lines. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got 2 lines of stitching going across it. But this one is actually, Dirty Dancing was filmed very near, well, very near Mountain Lake, right? It's Vestron Pictures. This is a true vintage shirt from way back. Awesome shirt. However, doesn't have a size in it. And I think, man, I get confused sometimes, y'all. Pretty certain it was a viewer contacted me. I'm pretty sure, Jill, I think you are, and you purchased this and it sold for $40. I could be wrong about that, but it seems like I remember that. So thank you. $40 for that t-shirt. I think I paid $1. Next one is an item that a lot of people pass by, but when I see it in a box, I usually look at it. And that is a flip phone. This is a Kyocera flip phone right here. And it had the box and all the paperwork and all the stuff. Duro Pro 84277. That one right there sold for $38, I think. $34. Plus shipping, and you know, I probably, like I said, paid $1 or $2 for it. Sold a lot of clothes today. A third clothing item here, and then we've got a couple more later in the show after we talk about the Disney stuff, of course. So this one was one of my favorites from the 127 vintage haul. If you haven't seen that one, that video is up here, and we're just now starting to list this crazy haul. Check this thing out. And I know Green Bay just lost, y'all. I know. This a viewer bought this one because it was up and it went really quick. I figured it would go to a viewer, actually, because this is just fire. And the viewers watch the store and see the new stuff as it pops up. Single stitch in just immaculate condition. Just absolutely awesome. 1994. I mean, all over. Look at this thing. All over print. Front and back on the sides. Just really cool shirt right there. And that one sold for $39. And it sold to a viewer. Look at the tag. Salem Sportswear, made in the USA. And it is single stitch here, and it is single stitch here. Some of you may know this. My wife is a huge Green Bay fan. Certainly not a Cowboy fan. But we're still friends with those folks. Love the vids. I've been watching for about a year now and have learned so much from you. I've bought a few things in the past. I'm a huge Green Bay fan. So I knew I had to get this. Thanks again, Matt. Matt, thank you. Gulf Coast Picker 18. Appreciate it very much, and I know you're going to love that shirt. Next one is going to lead us into our topic. The next 2 are going to lead us into our topic because both of these are Disney branded. And I want to talk a little bit, not just about Disney really, but talk about Disney specifically, but in regards to other name brands as well. Jack Skellington. And that one sold. These things are massive, by the way. And we picked these up for $7.25. And boy, I got a lot of pushback on that video. People are like, they're never going to sell. The market's flooded and whatever. And I failed to mention, I kind of did, because I assumed everybody knew that I was going to store these upstairs. They were put them in these massive bags and tie them up and put them upstairs in my attic, which is controlled temperature-wise to some degree for a few different reasons. And it's really not taking any space at all. We have tons of space up there. I just don't like to put heavy stuff and whatever, be lugging it up. But I was planning on selling a few, hopefully, before the market got flooded, and then selling some next year. And that looks like it's what happened here. This one sold 2 sets, 2 pairs. Okay, so we've got these 2 guys, paid $7 1/4 a piece, and then we've got a Santa up there, like Santa, Sally, right here. That goes with them. And so 2 at a time are headed out of here, and people are like, oh, the box, look, just go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, get one of their big boxes. Put, you can put them in these bags, you can put them in regular trash bags, you can suck them down, you can get all kinds of different things, you can get them to get smaller. But it's not as much as you might think to ship these things out and, to condense them down. So 2 of these are headed out, 2 pairs, 2 couples are headed out of here. They sold for $79 plus shipping each. So that's a pretty darn good sale, and hopefully we'll be able to do this for a long time to come. By the way, one more point, you can actually ship those in bags if you want to. You could actually ship them in those bags right there, just like a giant poly bag. So that's an option as well, and I might do that. All right, y'all, let's talk about the topic. Let's talk about Disney a little bit, but before I do, let me just clarify, this is not about the intellectual property stuff you may have heard about lately, which is, I'm just going to give you an example, although it's much bigger than this. Somebody on Etsy crocheting, mass crocheting like the child, the Baby Yoda doll, and selling those on Etsy, not licensed through Disney or something like that. Now, that is a totally different topic and worthy of talking about. Maybe we'll do that down the road just a little bit. This is about something entirely different. This is actually about one of the Disney parks putting an official ban on reselling with some ramifications for those that do it. Let's talk about this for a minute. A thumbnail like this, a title like this, will probably bring some folks into this channel that aren't resellers, and there might be a lively debate, and some resellers out there might agree or want to chime in or disagree with some of the things I say. That's perfectly okay. This one right here is actually about Disney Tokyo. Disney Tokyo is the first that I'm aware of, although the other parks are talking about it, and certainly Disney fans are talking about it. You hear it on the blogs. I've been doing a little research, and it's a big, big topic. As we talk about this, I'm going to throw some different stuff up here. Headlines, maybe some comments or something from people that have opposing opinions, things that make me think, it's a good point. Whether I agree with it or not, at least it's a good point. And I like to talk about, rational, reasoned responses and law and things that, not are, inflaming arguments, but actually looking at how things should work and why they work the way they work. But Disney in Tokyo, which ironically isn't really owned by Disney, it's licensed because Japan has some interesting laws. But regardless of all that, Tokyo Disney says no more reselling. Let me read you something. Purchasing products or souvenirs for the purpose of resale is now a prohibited act. It may get you removed or banned from the park. This goes into effect Wednesday, December 21st, last month, of course, 2022. Reselling items is now as serious as altering theme park tickets and violence towards cast members. Now, I know a lot of folks are looking, hey, this is Tokyo, who cares? Doesn't relate to me in any way. Well, it does, and this debate is raging, and they're starting to put, I think this has been in place for a while, right? Limiting you to buying 2 items. Of course, people get around those things. If you got a family of 6, there's 12 right there, right? And then you find another family of 6 here, and you give them a quick $50, and they go in and they wipe the place out too. So it's not like that Disney rule of only 2 can really stop this. It limits it, I suppose, to some degree, but it doesn't completely stop it. So you hear people complaining, but there's some irony to this. And I want to start with the question, why? Why does Disney even sell these exclusive products in the parks only, park exclusives, and that's the only place they're selling them, which creates this massive demand of all the folks that can't go or don't want to go. Not everybody can go to a Disney park the time that they release this new item and people want it, they're collectors, whatever. And so they pay people to do it, or they buy it on eBay because they want that stuff too, and it's a Disney exclusive. So why does Disney park exclusive? So why does Disney do that to begin with? Because they want to draw people into the park. It's obvious, which I think is really funny to read all these blogs and all these comments on these videos. People talking about how resellers are greedy and it's always greed and they're ruining everything for everybody. Well, why is Disney doing it the way they're doing it? Because they want to get you into the park and they want to pay the park premium price for the item. They could sell those items at Walmart if they wanted to. They don't want to, which I'm not blaming them. That's their prerogative. I mean, I do that kind of stuff with certain things. It's marketing. It's very smart. It's how Disney makes money, and Disney's job is to make money. It's not to satisfy every Disney fan out there. You know, Disney is very good at divorcing people from their money. They've been practicing it for a long, long time. I think it's a little ironic that in the name of fairness to Disney fans everywhere, they're trying to stop individuals from being good at divorcing people from their money. I want to make a couple of minor points here and then get on to some different arguments. So, you know, there are people out there who want these things, who collect certain things, and they can't get them. They can't get them. Maybe they're sick. Maybe they're disabled and they can't, you know, I don't know. Take your pick. Maybe they live in Kansas and they can't afford to go to all this stuff. I'm not quite sure. But, you know, these parks are only located in certain places. So there are people who literally make a living supplying those who can't get there with the merchandise that they want. And essentially, even though they're massive markups for some of these things, they're saving them money because they're saving them the flight, they're saving them the ticket, and they're still getting the item that they want. Here's some more irony. The resellers who are doing this, a large portion of them anyways, are the Disney fans who use their annual passes, who are they just love Disney, and it's very expensive to love Disney. And so they're using the reselling side of it as a way to fund their own visits and their own experiences at different Disney parks. So there's a little irony in this, that most people who are doing this aren't just outsiders coming in for one day and buying stuff up and leaving. They're people who are at Disney and they love Disney and they want to continue to go, and it's an expensive habit. So I think it's funny when, you know, Disney fans demand lifetime bans and things like that. And then you read through the comments of some of these articles, and a lot of Disney fans are like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You know, Disney can't stop me from reselling an item that I owned if I purchased it lawfully. Yeah, you can get around these limits that they have in place. But if I've got 6 people that I brought to the park, you know, and it cost me $3,000 for a day at the park and a night in a hotel or whatever and food, and I'm trying to make some of my money back, they can't stop me from reselling. So they're right, because there's the first sale doctrine, which is absolutely a constitutional statement. You know, if I've bought something, I own it. If I own it, I can resell it. And let's hope that never disappears. However, let's be realistic here. Disney should, it's private property, you know, they own their own business, their own properties. They should be able to enact their own rules to some degree, right? I don't think they should be able to go onto a site like eBay and take your item down that you own. That's not what I'm talking about. But if they say, all right, if you're going to be a reseller and you come in here, you know, we're going to ban you from the property. Well, depending on how they do that, I suppose, you know, they probably have that right. And you know what? They probably should have that right. It is their property. But let's not make any, you know, grand gestures towards Disney here and say they're doing it because they love the people and they want everybody to get one product. I mean, if that were the case, they can solve this problem really, really quickly. If Disney wanted to, they could solve it. All these products that are in high demand, just know the demand is going to be there. Mass produce these things and it will kill the reselling market and it won't be worth as much. You know, sell the Figment popcorn bucket in Walmart and dry up the market, and that would have solved the problem. They don't want to do that. And you know what? Disney loves resellers when it comes to them underestimating the demand for a product. When they overestimate the demand for a product. I mean, look here. I mean, look at all that stuff right there, right? Disney couldn't unload that stuff fast enough. They put it in their outlet store to try to get rid of it. And they discounted it like crazy, and they loved it when I went in there and bought it because it cleared it out. It's only the things that they are using to draw people into the park, that the people complain about not being there. Those are the issues that Disney wants to solve. So some of the Disney parks here have cracked down on annual pass holders that do this, and whatever, their prerogative if that's what they want to do. But it's a catch-22 for them, because a lot of people own those annual passes because they're able to do this and they get that 20% discount. So they have to kind of tread lightly and figure out what is in their best economic interest in all of these scenarios before they pull the trigger on anything. So I want to put a couple things here up on the screen here from some comments I've come across. At Real Geek comment, he gets it right, put up this comment right here. You know, this is a supply and a demand thing for sure. You can solve this problem by selling these exclusive items. You can just not make them exclusive. Disney wants them to be exclusive. So don't call resellers greedy when clearly Disney is doing things that's greedy, right? And I'm not faulting them. It's brilliant. Got a couple more here. Here's one that goes against that comment, right? It's not about supply and demand and all that stuff, which to me, this is not a really wise comment. Look at this. This one is truly scary. Think about this. This stuff may be coming down the line here if we don't at least hold to our fundamental laws and things like the first sale doctrine. And we should be standing firm for these things. There are things that companies can do if they want to make things available to many, many people. They can do a Dutch auction on stuff. If it's like the tickets, right? That's the big thing. Everybody buys up these tickets and then they're jacked up by resellers and Ticketmaster and all that. But you know what? There are things you can do to change that. And a Dutch auction system is one way to do that, where the people who want it the absolute most and they want to make sure they get something, they're willing to pay the absolute premium to the company themselves, to Disney. Then, or, you know, in this case, I'm talking about concert tickets, you can do it that way. There's definitely ways to do it. You can do enough shows that there is enough demand. There's all kinds of ways you can put restrictions on, but the way not to do it is to restrict the sale after the fact, to go on and start policing people, Chinese style, who are selling on eBay and different platforms. That is, to me, is a complete mistake and a huge overreach as to what they could be and maybe even should be doing. And so some restrictions by Disney at the parks or something, I'm not opposed to that. You know what? That's Disney's business, and they're trying to protect their business. I like to look past all of the kind of, you know, uneducated kind of remarks that's really just driven by emotion, and really look down, dig deep, and look at the fundamental right. What rights does Disney have that they can do within their power? What rights do we have as individuals, as resellers? You know, as people who buy things, you have the right to resell it. And you know what? I think it's interesting that Disney fans are right here in the mix too, and there is not some monolithic agreement. But I hope we can at least agree on one thing, that we don't want any of these draconian Chinese-style face image, social score, you know, policing of the internet. You know, hopefully none of us want that stuff at all. I feel free to disagree. You know, even me, I'm a reseller, but you know, walking into a Disney store and hiring 60 people to haul off all the merchandise in 12 minutes is, you know, that's not for me. Okay, it's definitely not for me. And I think there's ways that we can get around this. I just saw Wallen here, pretty funny pup. So at any rate, leave your comments, your appropriate and kind and courteous, well, maybe not kind, but you know, not vicious comments below. Also shipped a VCR. I'm going to put it up right here. And that VCR was a drop shipper. And I don't always do what drop shippers ask me to do, but because of when it was bought and because of the time I needed later that day, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to ship it right now. And I'll just mention it on the show today. And that's what we're doing. And it sold for $59, I think, plus shipping. And, you know, they put some demands. Maybe if I can find that, I'll throw it up right here as well. And you can take a look at that. I'm not afraid to sell to drop shippers at all. I don't mind it one bit. I heard a scratch, but that did not sound like Pepper. Pepper's scratch is different. It sounds like a Sophie scratch. And it oh my goodness. This is the first time this has ever happened, y'all. Oh my goodness, we're so excited to see both of you. They're becoming a little better friends, y'all. A little bit. Oh my goodness. See what happened? And Sophie had to go to the bathroom. I guarantee this is what happened. And Wallen has got to follow. Wallen loves to be outside. So Wallen had to follow Sophie, and Sophie's like, oh my gosh, I'm out here, I want to get a treat. And Wallen is just, look, you can see what's going on. Sophie wants to, I'll give you all treats. Had a Lionel electric trains, this porcelain sign, a little small one. One sold for $25 plus shipping. You know what? I forgot to read something. Forgot to read the message from Dawn about the Nightmare Before Christmas plush. Shout out to Commonwealth family. You are our #1 YouTube watch list. Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. We are also a flipping family of 9. Mom, dad, and 7 kids. I think you've sent me a message before. Flipping Grams? Anyway, we just became part of the eBay family 3 months ago. Fairly new resellers. Our eBay store is Flipping Grams. I just mentioned that you give out some of the best advice and to brand new family members in the reselling game. We are located in Arizona, and my husband is an arborist and just started his own company, T's Tree Service. Very cool. His YouTube channel is Arizona Wood Farmer. Very cool. I have to go check it out. You guys are awesome. I hope you I hope you enjoy them. And are you going to put them out for Halloween? Sold a He-Man, but this is not. It's from the A Real American Hero sale, not from the, what do we call the other one? No, that's not it. We called it I Have the Power sale after He-Man. That's what we called it. So this is Battle Armor. Has no axe with this one. It's got the shield. And that one sold for, I think, 20 bucks. I think I did free shipping on it, so, you know, 15 plus shipping, whatever you want to call it. And that's not bad. And we added that to the total. Should be $12 profit after fees after shipping. And we are up to 2,221 bucks. These dogs are back here looking at me like, when's our next treat coming? Look at that. There's some more stuff people sent us. I've got to open. So if you sent me something, there it is. I put it there so I trip over it so I remember. This one and a hat sold for like 21 bucks plus shipping. This Disney, well, there you go. See, gotta watch it now. Breaking the law. Anyway, that's pretty cool, actually. Valentine's not too far away, I suppose. That's a cool plush. And then I gotta find this hat. Give me a minute. There it is. I found it. Giants hat. That one, that's been listed for over a year, so it's on 25% off. So total here like 21 bucks plus shipping. And that will, that'll be close, but it will probably stay just first class. And a big thank you to Jane. She said, pleasure to get a couple of my favorites, the Giants and Mickey. Very cool. Keep up the awesome, informative videos. Hazel B Treasures, with a dash in between. Hazel B Treasures on eBay. I appreciate the compassion you and your family put into all you do. Thank you, and I'd love some bubble bucks. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, Jane. And I will remember here to throw in those bubble bucks right there. And do you have any way to keep your books? If you don't, we'll throw that in as well. MyResellerGenie.com. Code Commonwealth. All caps, 15% off. And of course, you get the stickers. As always, get those in there. I don't know, you bought 2 things. Should I give you 4 stickers? Here, I'll give you 4 stickers. Like, everybody needs 4 Commonwealth picker stickers. Actually, one's a flipper, one's a picker. Just grab the G.I. Joe carrier. Amphibious personnel carrier. Missing the stickers. That one sold for 59 bucks. Believe it or not. Free shipping on that one. So after I totaled everything up, it's going to be $42 after fees after shipping. 2,263 bucks. Another item from the G.I. Joe sale that wasn't a G.I. Joe. I thought this would be easy to find, but I have a feeling it's not. Matter of fact, it might even be in here. Took me a while, but I found it hiding way down here. And this is, what are they? Crystar, I'm going to have to read it to you in a second because it went to a viewer. And I remember these being a kid, but I don't remember that certainly as much as all this. Anyway, it sold for $10.45 plus shipping. And Christopher bought this. Thank you, Christopher. Gonna go ahead and grab this from me, he says. A little retail arbitrage. Interesting. I have Crystar over here with his helmet and sword. He's kind of been a little bit of a peg warmer. He still won't have his shield, but maybe this staff will help him move. Okay, now I get it. So you're buying this to put it with your item to get him to move. And I think if those things are complete, if I remember, I shouldn't say this because it's hard to remember, like 90 bucks, 80 bucks, something like that, 75 bucks. And that one is headed your way. The Saga, 1982, the Saga of Crystar Crystal Warrior Staff Accessory Loose Remco. So there you go. I guess it's a staff. I don't know. Is that a staff? You tell me. Bought a couple of these at that, is it 301 sale down in North Carolina? A couple of sets of these, and one sold super quick. Got that like Goo Gone, like degreaser to clean those things up. And it cleaned up. I mean, they're new, but they were kind of nasty. And so one sold super quick. This one took forever and took a 5% discount to get it sold. 37 and change plus shipping. But hey, when you ever see these old mud flaps, they can be pretty darn good. These, what do they call them? Mud guards. And so Harley obviously is a good brand, but there's all kinds of good stuff. Yosemite Sam is on them and all that. And then the Half Naked Women and all those things. They sell pretty good. Sold 2 different Danish rosewood mini trays to the same person. Those sold for $19.40. Look at this, even more Disney stuff. And this was kind of a gut pickup. It's an old diaper bag, and it's not even in the best of conditions. Got a little dirty up there, and it has a cut in it. Let me show you. I think this will show you right here, I think. Maybe. There it is right there. See that? I thought there was a brand in it. It's an old one. I don't remember. Anyway, that diaper bag right there, there's the tag. There's nothing on it, though. That diaper bag right there, if it was in great condition, probably be a $50 diaper bag. Just because of the way it looks, and it's just screams vintage. But it's not, because it's got a couple of issues. But it's still sold for $24. I'll take it. Also sold a Radio Shack battery. These are finally going out on clearance. Just trying to get them out of here. I think just under 20 bucks. All right, y'all. We sold us another Disney item, Turner. This guy's called Chaser Pete, and he's a Vinylmation. And we sold the last of the Vinylmation, and I never even aired that video from 127. But I need to. That sold for 8 bucks, and it sold to a gentleman named Pat D's. He's bought some Vinylmations from us in the past, and he's got a YouTube channel as well. Pat, thank you. He likes lunchboxes from the 80s, he says so. And he also watches that terrible podcast we're on. So that sold for $7.99. What? It's called trash. It is called trash, isn't it? You're right. $7.99 plus shipping, which is definitely enough for you to do what? $7, spend $1, and donate $1. That's not it. That's not all, is it? Because you got to tell them, because everybody guessed who your favorite team was, so they could win 1 free month of my reseller Genie.com right there to get. This is, by the way, this is much more than just accounting for you, your bookkeeping, for your taxes. It's much more than that, but that's the most important part right there. Code Commonwealth, all caps, but 15% off first month. But for this person, they get a whole month for free. Tell them who. Well, I'll tell them who won. Deborah Murphy won. Tell everybody out there who your favorite team is. The Tennessee Titans. That's right. And a lot of people guessed the Carolina Panthers, because it used to be the Carolina Panthers. But he decided, since he's still young, he can switch it if he wants, and he switched it to the Tennessee Titans, which was wonderful at the beginning of the year and terrible at the end of the year. Wait, it was terrible at the beginning of the year, good at the middle of the year, and then terrible at the end of the year. You got it. You got it, buddy. But Deborah, thank you and congratulations. And hit me up, and I'll give you the information. Pass you on to Hope and to Paul. So, thank you, Turner. Appreciate it. Bye. All right, we got the dogs back in here again, huh? DeWallen back in here. That's right. What do you got? CommonwealthPicker.com store. Janita got an Enema-Man, and she is Faraday's Flipper. Faraday's Flipper got an Enema-Man to get her store moving. Okay, what else? And Stephanie got a Commonwealth Flipper sticker. Stephanie got a Commonwealth Flipper sticker, but we're out of Commonwealth Flipper stickers. I had the quantity wrong because I give away those stickers. Yeah. You know what, though? I might have one. I might have one upstairs in my bag. If you don't, though. If we don't, we decided we'd give her 3 stickers. Yeah. We'd give her the new Commonwealth Flipper sticker. Yep. And we get Things Moving sticker and a Commonwealth Picker sticker. Yeah. To make up for it. Sorry about that. So, anyway. That's okay, I guess. Right, Sophie? Is that okay? Hi. Thank you, Reagan. Bye. And don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com. All right, y'all. I have Reagan here because we're going to talk about these. You probably saw when a viewer made these and sent them off to us. And this is the Ultimate Warrior Inaman. Right there. The Ultimate Inaman. What do you think about that?
I love him.
I like it.
He's so colorful.
Just be crafting. And I'm like, that's really cool. Thank you. And I guess she's starting her own business. I'm like, you know what? Let's do something fun. Let's help you start your business here. Give you a little plug. Just be crafting. And I made, I guess, what is one of the first purchases. Like, how about we make 50? Kind of like a, you know how they do the booster shots? I don't want to get political here, y'all, but it's kind of funny. So, you know how they do the COVID things and then they give the boosters? We're going to say this is an Inaman booster. So if you need that extra boost for your store to get things moving and you already have that one, or if you already have that one right there, if you already have the regular Inaman, which is over there as well, that's going to be the booster. And if it's successful, we're going to do these a little cheaper. Normally our stickers are a little bit more, but we're going to do these, what do you think? $5? $5, you think?
Yeah.
And we'll put them on CommonwealthPicker.com. And if it's successful, the next one, Jess, we'll have to have you do, like, I don't know, maybe the Hulkamaniac one. You know, maybe the Hulk Inaman.
Yeah, we could have like a whole like different variety.
A whole
of boosters.
series. Yeah, there you go. Like every quarter or something. We got to have the, you know, I don't know what, King Kong Bundy, but anyway. We can have fun with it for sure. And maybe we'll do, we always do charity for every single $1 out of every single thing from the CommonwealthPicker.com store. So we'll do that as well. That sound good there? Just look at how patient. Yeah,
they want treats.
That's right, treats. All right. Anyway, go check out CommonwealthPicker.com and grab one. Thanks, Jess. I don't think I've ever done a video in here this way, but I think I need to today. Sold this trade because my other camera's not working. Stranger Things, $9.50 I think, plus shipping. And listen, this one, so I gotta read this. You're not gonna be looking at me though. You're gonna be looking at this cool shirt. Thanks, Kevin and family. My wife and I have been viewing the channels for over a year now. Oh, I suppose you can look at me. And I just like this because it's kind of personal here. And they're from SoCal. They have 2 years on me, it says. Or somebody does, whoever's writing this. And he said, Dad used to have season tickets, which my dad did as well, to the Angels games. And we used to go to the Big A to watch them play. Can still hear the chants of Reggie Jackson, for sure. Fortunate to see Rod Cruz's 3,000th base hit, which is really cool because I was at that game as well. Me and my brother were at Rod Cruz 3,000 game hit, and his hat always fell off, his little helmet. He was an interesting ball player for sure. Stowaway Adventures. So this Texas Instruments AC adapter, that one sold for $5 plus shipping. And you know, more than I think about it, I think that one came from the Motherload sale. I'll have to add that to that total. And then this shirt right here, and there is the message. I don't know if you can read that or not, but very, very kind message from Jules. And yes, we can definitely send you some bubble bucks, and a big shout out to Max. Very cool. Thank you all very much, and Happy New Year's to you. No balls, no glory. $7.50 plus shipping. I suppose it's worth the time, right? And somebody gets to enjoy it.